Prop Talk TV podcast. Peace.
Welcome to another episode of the San Francisco 49ers Morning Show. I'm your host, former NFL and NFL defensive back, Eric Crocker. Y'all know what it is, man. We're coming on here. We're talking some 49ers versus Texans. And I was going to come on today. I was going to chill, do my underdog fantasy, just play, do that whole thing and watch some football. Actually have to record the Locked On NFL Draft show this morning. Hey, if you haven't already, man, Locked On NFL Draft, listen to that, Locked On NFL 49. We're going to talk about a lot of performances from the college football playoffs, bowl games, some intriguing prospects. If you're into all that, the whole draft season, I know 49ers, I know. Typically right now we're getting ready for the draft, but not this year, man. Getting ready for the playoffs. So y'all don't got to get locked in to Locked On NFL Draft just yet. No pun intended. But Trey Lance, man, he's named the starter. And I saw the news late last night and I was going to go live and I'm like, now I'll wait till the morning. Get it off, talk to y'all for a little bit before I got to record my draft show. But I had a conversation, right? I had a conversation with my dog, Greg Pinelli. And y'all know I talk to Greg Pinelli all the time. He comes on typically on Mondays. He'll be on tomorrow to discuss, the Trey Lance performance and however that goes. But his boy Tyler Bray is in there now. So, I get a little bit of insight on what's going on kind of behind the scenes when it comes to the 49ers, the quarterback situation and what's going on. And, obviously, for those of you who don't know, maybe you're new to the channel, Greg Pinelli, he's a quarterback guy, quarterback guru. He comes on every Monday. We talk about the quarterback situation. We might break down some throws here and there or some decision making, but just kind of his take on it, because a lot of times the way I see it is one way, the way the fans see it is another way, and then the way a quarterback sees it is a totally different way. So I always love getting his perspective on the quarterback situation, how he sees it. And he usually brings a different kind of, just a different kind of insight, different kind of opinion. And, it's no different than me with cornerbacks, right? Typically, when I get on here and I start talking about cornerbacks, obviously that was my position. I typically bring a different kind of just viewpoint on what's going on at the quarterback position. But it's always good to get Greg Pinelli on. So if he trains tons of quarterbacks, he trains guys like Josh Allen, he trains Tyler Bray. And Tyler Bray is now signed with the 49ers. All right. Now, Tyler Bray made some interesting comments as far as the 49ers playbook. All right. And I'm trying to watch what I say. I don't want to just throw Bray under the bus. He'll be on this offseason. He'll be on for sure this offseason. So you guys get all the information straight from the source himself. But he said some things that are really interesting. And I kind of touched on it a little bit, but just to talk to Greg last night, and we're talking about the quarterback situation and all that, and just to hear it again, and to the extent, Tyler Bray says, and this might be why he's been taking Trey Lance so long to get on the field. Tyler Bray said he feels like he's learning German, trying to learn that playbook. Tyler Bray feels like he's learning a totally different language. Now, this is a guy, Tyler Bray, who has been with the Kansas City Chiefs. He spent years with them under Andy Reid. He's been with the Jim Nagy. Spent years with them. But Tyler Bray says Kyle Shanahan's offense, the verbiage of it and stuff like that, is not your traditional West Coast offense. And his head is spinning. He's essentially trying to learn an entirely new playbook. So this is what's going on with Trey Lance. Not entirely new playbook, entirely new language. So this is what's going on with Trey Lance. And this is what might kind of prolong his starts and why it's been tough for Trey Lance to just go out there and just play and let it rip. All right. Kyle Shanahan's playbook is so difficult. And I asked Greg, I said, Greg, why would he make his playbook so difficult to where it's hard for people to pick up? The harder something is to pick up, the harder it is for you to just go out there and play and let it rip. No matter the position, whether it's the offense, defense, whatever. The harder the playbook and the more things they put in there, the tougher it is, the more difficult it is to just go out and play. And the verbiage in this offense is so difficult. All right. And we hear that all the time. Oh, Kyle Shanahan, it's an extensive playbook. Oh, it's hard to learn the playbook. But I'm starting to understand because you hear guys like Deebo Samuel, right? Remember, if you kind of go back to Deebo's rookie year, he talked about it towards the end of the year. He was like, man, to be honest, I thought I would never get this playbook. And it's weird because when you look at it, the offense seems pretty simple. They line up under center, stretch right, counter, play action with the deep crossers. It looks simple, but I don't know if it's maybe all the tags that go along with it, the motions, the different ways they say things. For whatever reason, guys feel like they're trying to learn a new language. And when you look at a quarterback and you look at Trey Lance, it's one thing to be a vet. Let's say Tyler Bray. It's one thing to be Tyler Bray, who doesn't have like starting experience or anything like that, but he's played and he's seen some things. So it's one thing to be Tyler Bray and have to learn a playbook. But since he's been around, he at the very least understands what he's seen from the defenses. All right. So what does that mean? When Tyler Bray lines up, let's say you don't give him a play, or let's say you give him a play that he's extremely comfortable with. He can line up. He can look at the defense. Okay, here, there's the mic. Boom, boom. Okay, he's rolling, but okay, I can tell he's kind of cheating. He's going to go here. He knows what he's seeing from the defense, and he can play comfortable and let it rip. Trey Lance doesn't know what he's seeing from defense yet. So not only does he not know what he's seeing from the defense yet, he don't know the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a big deal. Trey Lance did not know the offense, and we'll see how much of the offense he knows now, but it's probably really difficult on him, or what's been the issue more so than anything else, truly understanding the offense. All right, I'm trying to learn the offense. He can't even focus on the defense yet. He's so focused on trying to figure out the offense and how everything works and how everything marries with each other and what Kyle Shanahan wants. He's so focused on trying to learn that. I don't even know if he's gotten to the defense yet. And we're going to find out. Now, this isn't anything too new or random, or it's just like, oh, this is just something that is exclusively a Trey Lance problem. From my understanding, think of Patrick Mahomes, and he was on the barbershop or the shop or whatever with LeBron James, and he talked about how he didn't really know how to read the defense until midway through the second year of his career. And a lot of the reason for that is he's so busy focused on learning the offense. It's difficult to focus on the offense, know what you're doing there, and then, okay, now I can go and I know what the defense is. So what I'm going to be looking forward to seeing today from Trey Lance is, although he may not really know what he's seeing from the defensive side of the ball, how comfortable does he just look in just the offense? Are there any delay of games? How fast are they able to play? Think about this. When Trey Lance was at his best, when was he typically at his best? Before halftime and at the end of games, right? Before halftime in the games. That's when Trey Lance was typically at his best. Why? Because a lot of thinking is taken out. I don't think there's any, I think it's easy to see why that is. The thinking is taken out, so he could just play fast. Here we go. North Dakota State is a small school, but they have great coaches and run an NFL-style offense. Lance will be fine. Yes, they run an NFL-style offense. I think for most guys coming out of college, they prepare you more for the things that you'll be asked to do as far as responsibility goes, as opposed to a lot of other college teams. So getting under center, calling plays in huddles, like huddling up. You know what I'm saying? Like, strengths, flipping plays. Like Trey Lance was responsible for all that. And that familiarized him with it. But it doesn't matter because Kyle Shanahan's offense is just different. From what I've been told, again, we're gonna go back to what Tyler Bray said. Tyler Bray said he's been with Andy Reid, right? That's pro offense, right? We're talking about North Dakota State. That's still, and I'll talk to you about the other side of that as well, being at North Dakota State. But talking to Tyler Bray, he's been with Andy Reid. He's been with Jim Nagy. He said trying to learn Kyle Shanahan's offense is a totally different language. So you can say, yeah, he's used to playing under center. Like, that's not foreign to him. He's used to huddling up. What he's not used to is calling Kyle Shanahan's plays and running what Kyle Shanahan wants. That's different than North Dakota State. There are familiarities with the, just some of the things that are the same. Well, I might have to call. As a matter of fact, he don't even, I think, from what I'm understanding, what I've been told, the offensive line for the 49ers calls out a lot of the protection. So that was something that he had to do at North Dakota State. I think that's kind of taken out of his hands with the 49ers. But it's all the other things, just understanding how Kyle Shanahan wants it and being on the same page with Kyle. Like, that's different. So, yeah, there are, North Dakota State, they prepare him for a lot of things in the NFL, but I don't know if anything can prepare you for Kyle Shanahan's offense. And then the other side of it is being at North Dakota State with the defenses that they play. In North Dakota State, FCS, essentially Division I AA. People say D2. It's not D2. I play D2. That's not D2. They would kick our ass. But the defenses you face are more simplistic. All right. How can I explain this? A lot of times, especially at those levels, it's not all kind of crazy stuff that they're doing on defense as opposed to the NFL. So a lot of times that's a big transition for rookie quarterbacks as well. So even this, let's say North Dakota State offense prepared Trey Lance for the NFL offense. Let's say that, hypothetically speaking, which it did to a certain extent, but not as much when you go into an offense as difficult as Kyle Shanahan's. But you still have to learn what you're seeing from the defensive side of the ball. And that's the part that takes a lot of in-game reps, understanding, what you're seeing, how guys are, trying to disguise things. They're rolling things. Guys are dropping out. You have some of that in college, but not to the extent, especially at the FCS level. A lot of times, if you just watch college football, there's not a whole lot of disguising going on. Not a whole lot of disguising going on. So, I mean, as far as being, at the end of the day, you're in the NFL. You got to figure it out. At the end of the day, you're starting. You got to figure it out. But I don't think it's as simple as just, oh, he's going to be fine. And I'm assuming the reasons why he hasn't been on the field as much as we would like is because the offense, from what I'm hearing, is hella hard. It's hella hard. Uh-oh. One second, y'all. I'll be right there. Here we go. And I should be back. All right. And from what I'm understanding, the offense is just hella hard. Here we go. I want to see a deep pass in the first or second drive. I think a deep pass can get him to kind of settle in a little bit, right? Like, that's where he's comfortable. When you're throwing passes over the middle, especially with the offense that the 49ers have, right? A lot of timing, rhythm. There's a little bit more pressure to be like on point with your timing, rhythm, seeing something late. Pushing the ball down the field, that's kind of the easy thing for him at this stage in his career. All right. Being able to just drop back and let it rip downfield, that's easier for Trey Lance than it is to play action, turn your back to a defense, snap your head around. Okay, I got to hit this over with timing before it gets, out the first window, or do I wait from the past the first window and hit the second window and throw that ball in there? Those things are, I don't want to say more pressure, but it's easier to throw the deep ball and go route and just let that rip than it is to throw some of these over routes that Kyle Shanahan asks of in his offense. they're gonna rush him like crazy. So he needs to back them off right away, and it's gonna be a long game. Well, I think the thing that can slow down, rushing him like crazy is actually not even so much the deep ball. It's one, the run game, because that's going to slow down the pass rush, and two, screens. So, okay, you guys want to rush real quick. You guys want to send guys. You guys want to blitz, right? You want to send 5-man pressures. All right, come on. We'll invite that. Come up right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, you come at me. There we go. Leak our lineman out. Screen. Let's get a big run after catch opportunity. So if you really want to slow down a pass rush, it's screens. Run the ball well. Do a couple screens. That'll get the pass rush to slow down. And we're not talking about a pass rush that has Chandler Jones and JJ Watt like we saw in the first Cardinals loss. Right? So you want to slow the pass rush down, that's how you do it. Now, if you want to stop guys from sitting on routes, that's different, right? Yeah, now we got to stretch the field. All right, you push some vertical shots, right? Some routes on the outside. Like now that'll push coverage back. And that's something, Jimmy Garoppolo, a lot of people know where he wants to win. You're starting to see these safeties kind of cheat play robber, right? You see some cover one hole, right? Where you have the safety, they'll start too high, they'll start down too high, come down, play robber, and they're just reading his eyes, knowing he wants to throw somewhere over the middle. There's been certain plays where I'm like, golly, they're really crowding the middle of the field for Jimmy Garoppolo. I watch. It was against the. It was. I mean, obviously we see it. We see guys jumping things, but I watched Jimmy. It was against the Seahawks on the very last drive, right? And they did the tight end league play. So they were always going to go to George Kittle on this play. But I looked at the safeties, and the safeties both came down. One jumped a dig from the backside, and from the front side, there was a post by Trent Sherfield that was wide open. Now, again, the play was designed to go to George Kittle, and that's where Jimmy went, and he got a nice game. But I'm looking at how the defenses are playing them, and they were crowding the hell out the middle of the field, leaving open deep shots on the post, where it's like, all right, Trent Sherfield just went on the post, and choose, you might outrun everybody and score a touchdown. They definitely were crowding the middle of the field for Jimmy Garoppolo, and kudos to Jimmy for being able to play well within that. But again, there's very little room for error when you're playing kind of that brand. Appreciate everybody coming in here right now. Spur of the moment. Didn't plan on coming in here, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about Trey Lance. He's starting. And what are y'all expecting? So I'm gonna get y'all on real quick. I got a show to do in about 40 minutes, so I won't be able to be on here as long as we typically are. But if you would like to come on, talk, chop it up, feel free, man. Hit that link right there. Come on. If you haven't already, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. You know what it is. You know what it is. Play action or PA Niner. They're writing on the wall early in the week who has 5 quarterbacks who has 5 quarterbacks. I don't have my glasses on. That was the real story that was missed except by Croc. Yeah, well, I'm not an insider, but obviously with Greg, I had an insight on the quarterback situation starting last Sunday, so I knew there was something going down. You have 4 quarterbacks. All I want for Christmas is Trey Lance to start against Houston. He's starting. So Nathan Dickey, you got your Christmas wish. Trey Lance, he's starting. And we're going to get a heavy dosage of him. And this is it. This is his audition. This is Trey Lance's audition to just be the guy moving forward. Jimmy Garoppolo was telling us he could play. And I'm assuming that they're using this as an audition for Trey Lance. Now, maybe in their heads they could say, well, we just want to make sure that Jimmy's finger is 100% okay. He's listed as questionable right now. Jimmy could play. If it was Aaron Rodgers, he'd be playing. We'll put it that way. Or anybody else where it's just like, you are 100% our starter, that guy would be playing. I think there is something with Kyle Shanahan where he wants Trey Lance to play. He wants to see Lance. He wants Lance to take hold of this thing. So it is Trey time. Let's go, Trey. I'm with you. Here we go. What would you say is Jimmy G's best moment as a Niner? I would say the Saints game, right? The Saints game. Just because, I mean, it was on the road, just the back and forth. 49ers started down. That was an explosive game. You know, just the moment. I remember seeing, like, in the pregame, the national anthems being sung and, like, the lights were all out. It was dark. All you see is everybody's camera flashes. I mean, like, to me, that was the Saints game just because of the moment. I'm not saying that was his best game, but that was just the moment of what like that was his best moment. Everybody's watching. You got to outduel Drew Brees. That was it. Somebody said they can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Here we go. A Croc that Smith and Jigma posted. Wow. I wonder if that went over a lot of people's heads. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot of youngsters. A lot of youngsters. So that reference was obviously He Got Game. I don't know how many of you have seen the He Got Game movie. Denzel Washington, Jesus Shuttlesworth, a.k.a. Ray Allen. And Ray Allen went on his recruiting trip. And it went down on the recruiting trip. He had Rick Fox showing him around. So I posted something kind of alluding to that. Here we go from Tavarius. No, Kyle really wants Jimmy to start. He is letting the media know that Jimmy might start. He is nervous about Trey. I think a lot of it is out of respect for Jimmy Garoppolo. Maybe he does. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I do know one thing. There's a respect thing going on. What did Trey Lance say all throughout his presser? Jimmy's a starting quarterback. You know, I have to be ready in case Jimmy Garoppolo goes down. If he can't, if he can go, then I know I prepared, you know, and I took steps in the right direction. Jimmy Garoppolo is the guy. Jimmy Garoppolo is the starter. That's Trey Lance saying that over and over. Like, well, yeah, Trey, you know, actually now you're the starter. You know what I'm saying? So I think they are looking at it as simple as Jimmy's the starter, Trey's the backup. I think there is an element of that. And I do believe that is true until it's not. And how would it not be true? If Trey Lance goes out and plays well. He goes out and plays well, he'll be the starter moving forward. Hit the like. Thanks for keeping me sane all season. You know, I think me keeping it real and stuff like that, that's just like I'm not like an agenda pusher. Obviously, I talk to you guys about my thoughts and things I'm thinking and certain aspects of the game, but I don't have like this agenda to push or anything like that, or like a narrative. I just talk about football as I see it, as it pertains to the 49ers or other. So I appreciate you. And that's why I try to, you know, as far as keeping everybody sane, this is why it comes off as keeping everybody sane. I don't overreact one way or another. So when it comes to 49ers football, I think as fans, we can get up in arms a certain way. I don't react that way because I view everything from a player perspective and coach's perspective. That's how I view the 49ers games as I'm watching them. So that kind of takes out the emotional aspect of it to where I can just, as I would if I were playing or if I were a coach, I would be looking at it and viewing it the same way, right? What happened? How do we fix this? Okay, on to the next game. And that's how I view it. So you guys typically don't see me get too up in arms one way or the other. I think that's why it helps keep people sane. Here we go, man. This is a real one right here. Crocker, real one, been following since his first guest appearance on the Locked On show. Hey, shout out to everybody that listens to Locked On 49ers. We surpassed 3 million downloads. Over 3 million downloads, over 3 million listens on the year. That was a goal of ours. We wanted to make that a goal before the new year started, and we hit that number. Shout out to y'all. It took to the very last day. I got a couple questions in here about Underdog Fantasy, and y'all already know this show is sponsored and powered by Underdog Fantasy. Let's bring it up here. UnderdogFantasy.com. I'm actually I'm trying to make them like an official partner. That's what I'm trying to do. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I'm logging in because I want to see what are the. Hold on. I want to see like what are the over unders now that Trey Lance is playing. I'm assuming they are different. You know, the 49ers, when you have Jimmy Garoppolo, I think you expect a certain volume of, passing numbers, yards, and all that type of stuff. So I'm curious to see. I haven't checked. I checked yesterday. They didn't have the numbers up. So Underdog Fantasy, for what some those of you who don't know, it's a, how can I put it? So Underdog Fantasy, for those who don't know, it's not just fantasy. I do like over unders, like love doing it with the 49ers. So I'm curious to see what do they look like. If this spins for a while. I don't know why we don't recognize the device or location. Please check your email. Configure. They're trying to mess me up. They're trying to throw off me being able to. Oh, here we go. Confirm login. All right, I think I'm good now, y'all. There we go. All right. Let's see what they got with the 49ers. Y'all help me make some money today. All right, so Underdog Fantasy. We're going to see what the 49ers props are. So I do a lot of the player props. Here we go. Got the 49ers here. And y'all going to help me put together what we're betting on. Trey's over under. Here we go. 255 yards. That's his total yardage. I'm going with the over on that. Y'all let me know if we should go with the over. Here we go. All right, hold on. Share. Appreciate everybody that's in here already. You feel me? What we're doing right here, this is Underdog Fantasy. This show is powered, sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Y'all see the logo up there in the top right corner. Here we go. Let's share. So y'all should be able to see this. All right, you got the Houston Texans. Where their overs start at? They got Davis Mills, Rex Burkhead, Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins. Okay. 49ers, this is what we've been waiting for, man. What are the over-unders on these guys? So y'all let me know. Trey Lance, 255 total yards. So that's receiving and passing. I mean, I'm smashing the over on that. I'm smashing the over. How do y'all feel about that? I'm smashing the over on that. I think Trey Lance is going to get close to 300 yards. Matter of fact, I mean, that's what he got in his first game, right? That's for all the hoopla and all that about Trey Lance and his performance. He had almost 300 yards in that game. So, yeah, we're smashing it over. He's getting 300, 250 passing yards, 80 rushing yards. I could see that. I was thinking more, 210 passing yards, about 50 rushing yards. So we're on the same page with the rushing yards. I was thinking about, 260. Either way, that's right over the over. So we are going with the over on Trey Lance. Now, also, if you guys want to get involved in this, what I'll do is I'll send the link. Here's the over-under link. If you're not involved already with Underdog Fantasy, here's the link right here. Promo code Crocky. All right. Hold on. Uh-oh, I messed up something. Promo code Rocky. There we go. And space. So if you want to get involved in this, I mean, I bet on this all the time. If you're in California, it works. All right, win you some money. There you go, right there. There's the link. There's the promo code that you guys use. Good morning to everybody. So yeah, we're going with the over on Trey Lance's 255 yards. Let's go. All right, here we go. Kyle Juszczyk. I've been hitting on the over with Kyle Juszczyk's receiving yards. Is that whenever they have it up there, I mean, it's been 7 yards, it's been 8 yards, even 11 yards. I like it. If you go back to Trey Lance's first game, Kyle Juszczyk definitely had a couple of catches. He had one in rhythm down on the left side. Love that play. That was one of my favorite plays by Trey Lance. It was a third down play. Caught it in rhythm, threw it out there to Juszczyk. He picked up a first down. He had another one early in the game on the right side. I think Kyle Juszczyk is going to be one of Trey Lance's best friends in this game, get him comfortable. I'm going with the over on Kyle Juszczyk's yards, 11.5. How y'all feel about that? How y'all feel about that? All right. You got Deebo Samuel. Now, with these over-unders, you can only pick one prop between a player. So are we going to go with Deebo's 46, the over on his yards receiving, or the over on his 25.5 rushing yards? Which one? I see y'all saying over. Which one? We're going with the over on Deebo receiving or rushing? We got Jamal says he took the over on Deebo's receiving yards. And again, if you guys haven't already, I put the link in the chat for you guys to do promo Underdog Fantasy. Click the link. If you scroll up, you'll see it. Promo code Crocky. All right. So go ahead, feel free. Click the link, use the promo code, all that good stuff. And it helps with the show as well. Here's a good one. He says, take Deebo's receiving because Elijah Mitchell is playing. And I think that there is something to that where Elijah Mitchell might take away from or will take away from the rushing yards that Deebo is getting. So we'll go with Deebo's over on receiving yards. All right. Now, we can do one more 49er. All right. We got Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Or do y'all want to do some props with the Houston Texans? Brandon Cooks, 65.5 yards. He's been going crazy. Nico Collins, he's starting to get more active. They got some other receivers too, though. They got Chris Conley, Philip Dorsett. If you click on it, you can also see how he's been doing over the last few games. So 33 yards, 14 yards, 69 yards. That's his last 3 games. So it's over under 28. I like that. I'm going to go with over on Nico Collins, 28.5 yards. 49ers have been really good against the run. Let's see what Burkhead had a huge game last week. Aside from that, he's been around 40 yards. But look at the attempts. The attempts are there. 11 attempts, 16 attempts, 22 attempts. So but the 49ers do so well against the run, they kind of shut that stuff down. 49ers kind of do well against the run. Hey, Croc, watch our rookies work, bro. They are going to be exciting game today. I know, man. I can't wait. I see Cooks over, Nico for sure. Here we go. Croc, thanks for all the great content. Hope you reach your goals, my brother. Man, I appreciate that, fam. Let's go. Yeah, I told my wife last night. I told her the goals last night. I was like, babe, the goal was by Christmas to hit $10,000, dollars off of streaming, and I surpassed that. So now, I need new goals. She was like, well, what's the new goal? I was like 20,000 by July. So that's my goal. Now I got to turn up my work ethic. You feel me? I appreciate the contribution, though, bro. I'm gonna leave that up there. Let's go. Cook's probably gonna score 2 touchdowns. Hey, it's gonna be hard for me to root against Cooks. You already know, man. That's the Stockton homie, North Side. Feel me? So I always want to see Cooks do well. Definitely don't want to see him do well at the expense of the 49ers. He's a deep threat guy. Davis Mills is throwing the ball to him very well. He's the guy. So we gotta get Cooks under control. Now, as far as this game, does he hit the over? I might stay away from that. I might just go with one more. I'm going to go with the over on Brandon Ayuk. That's what I'm going to do. So I think that's what we got here. Going with the 49ers. All right. We got Trey Lance, 255 yards. We're going with the over on that. Kyle Juszczyk, we need him to hit at least 12 yards. Deebo, at least 47 receiving yards. Nico Collins, let's go. Can you get 30 for us? And we don't need you to get much more than that. And Brandon Ayuk. All right, so the way Underdog Fantasy goes, I pick those things. I want to put $10 on it. Well, $10 and the payout is $200. All right, so I'm going to hit that, confirm, and let's go. My slip is in. So that's how Underdog Fantasy works. So if any of y'all, are interested in Underdog Fantasy, playing, all that good stuff, click the link. Here's the link again. I'll type it in here again, and it's promo code Crocky. Hold on. Promo code Crocky. And boom, and boom. So if you're interested in playing some Underdog Fantasy, click the link right there. Use promo code Crocky. Appreciate your takes. Looking for a well-balanced game plan from Kyle Shanahan to help the rookie. Yeah, I think last game it seemed like Kyle, balance isn't the word that I would use. Now Elijah Mitchell was there; he did very well with his limited touches. Trey Lance was 83% of the offense between his rushing and passing. That doesn't seem very balanced in the sense of how you're using them, especially with such run heavy. So we'll see if he can put a little bit more on the shoulders of Elijah Mitchell. Trey Sermon, if he's playing, it sounds like Trey Sermon's cleared. We'll see if he gets in there. We'll see what's going on with Hasty. Seems like they like to get him involved, get him running the rock. But definitely would like to see a little bit more balanced attack. Ambry's first pick. Hey, we're going to speak it into existence, man. I think there's definitely a case for that. When you look at Ambry Thomas, he's been in position. He's been there. Now he's got to make the play. So Davis Mills, he'll try to fit some passes into tight windows. I think I think you're onto something there. Trey Lance is better than Jimmy, period. Trey Lance is more talented, for sure. To say that he's better, I think that's I don't want to say a stretch or a reach. He definitely can be. But I think that's to be determined. Now, do I think he'll be better down the line? Yeah. More talented, smart kid, hard worker. Yeah. But I think, like, if you were to tell me, like, right now, can I, without doubt, say that Trey Lance is better than Jimmy Garoppolo? I can't say that without a doubt. I can say he's more talented without a doubt. I can say he has a higher upside without a doubt. But it is a little bit harder to say without a doubt that Trey Lance is better today. I can say without a doubt, I feel like he'll be better, in the next couple years. But that's kind of a little disrespectful to Jimmy Garoppolo, who has won a lot of games in his career. Now, that's not to say that he's but he has a good hand in it. So, I think Jimmy Garoppolo, he's a solid starting quarterback in the NFL. Trey Lance, that's still to be determined, but obviously, like that's what we hope, though. Here we go. Jimmy lost to a backup quarterback at home, and Trey almost beat Kyler. I would say that I didn't think Jimmy played bad against Arizona. I thought the defense played like their worst game of the season. Thought the offense, you had a couple fumbles when you were kind of driving. I actually thought that was one of Jimmy's better games. So I don't want to put that Arizona loss solely on the shoulders of Jimmy Garoppolo. You had the fumble by Ayuk, you had the fumble by Kittle. I think those things hurt. I thought he threw the ball well that game. Obviously, late in the game, he threw that interception. But, I think that was like the last drive. Game was already over. Defense definitely didn't help that game. Trust me, if something is on Jimmy, I'm going to put it on Jimmy. Trust me. That game, I didn't think it was on him. Looking forward to seeing if Mills is hype. Is he really go with I got to maximize the screen real quick. Looking forward to seeing if Mills hype is really real to go with my bottle of Maker's Mark. Let's go. I got the bottle. I almost went and got a bottle of Maker's Mark last night. I ain't going to get it, but I'll say this about Mills. I like that they've given him the opportunity to learn and get better. And he's had some shaky starts, and he's had some really good starts. I think that's what's to be expected for rookies. His first 3 games, ugly. His 4th game, he played against the New England Patriots. Great game. That was his best game. Denver's on the win, but that was a really good game against a really good defense. And he's had some up and down moments. He's had some terrific moments. And they kind of, is he the starter? Okay, Tyrod Taylor is back. Okay, nope, let's go back to the rookie. So we'll see. But I like the growth from him. I look at things from just like pure football and what I'm expecting from rookies. And I understand the ups and downs that rookies are going to have. So even with Trey Lance, I think there are going to be a lot of people that judge Trey Lance based on his performance, right? And they'll say what he's going to be one way or the other. I don't look at it from that perspective. I just look at where is he and how close is he to what we need him to be. Does he show signs of being able to get there? So, I think I just view things a little different when it comes to judging rookies. And that's no matter the position, whether it's a quarterback, whether it's a receiver, whether it's a corner, a DN. I look at it from the standpoint of, okay, where is he? That's all I want to know. First game, I saw where he was, right? Kyle kind of told us where he was. I don't quite trust him as a passer yet. Okay, does Kyle trust him a little bit more? So those are the things that I'm looking for. Does Kyle trust Trey Lance a little more than he did against Arizona? I think there are a lot of people that want to come in and obviously, like, listen, just like y'all, I want to see him come in or let it rip and have just this amazing game. But so far, and again, with what Trey Lance has shown us, he has the ability to kind of be up and down. But within being up and down, he shows some special moments. And those are the things I'm looking for. Like, can I still see the special moments that make us go, whoo, I need to see some more of that, right? That's what I want to see. See, Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is not a Jimmy Garoppolo thing, but I think he doesn't really show us a whole lot of, can't wait to see more of that. It's like, okay, that was good. Okay, Jimmy, that was good. Oh, damn, Jimmy, that was ugly. Okay, Jimmy, that was good, right? There's a lot of that. Trey Lance, he'll do some things where it's like, hey, I like it. I like it. So, and then it's like, ooh, that was an ugly pass, right? So I want to see more of the I like it than, ooh, that was an ugly pass. That's kind of my thing on that. But I don't have this, I talked about earlier, I don't have this big, like, high expectations. He's a rookie in his second start. Rookie in his second start. So I don't really have like that. I know. Ooh, great question here. Eric, did the Niners get it wrong with Eric and Defoe? I'd say no. If what they're saying is true, and I get it, you can make things happen. Okay, here's the thing. The salary cap is a myth thing, is actually a myth as well. Now, if you want a guy, you can have him, but definitely it will come at the expense of some other players. So the way they looked at it was, hey, we can structure this contract with Eric Armstead a certain way and utilize him and still be able to keep some other guys and be able to sign them without it hurting the rest of the roster. That was kind of how they viewed it. So I feel like there's a scenario where you do keep Buckner and still keep, guys like Ward and be able to sign, Warner and Kittle. There's probably a scenario, but it's still going to hurt a lot of other areas. I don't think they got it wrong because the defense actually plays well. I just think, it sucks to. I think the weirdest part about it is when you draft a player, you draft a player hoping that he's DeForest Buckner. So to let that go, that's the weird part. I'm not saying they got the whole thing wrong, but where I think they went wrong is taking Kinlaw. And I didn't like the pick, so this is not a hindsight take. I didn't like taking Kinlaw there. I would have taken CeeDee Lamb. Now they got Ayuk, and I like Ayuk. I like Lamb just a little bit more, but I like Ayuk a lot. Yeah. See, I mean, this is tough to pass up right here. You got Eric Armstead, Ward, and a first rounder. It's tough. I will say this: they got good compensation back for the Buckner thing. It's not like they just gave him away. Like, remember when the Houston Texans traded DeAndre Hopkins, and it was like, what the hell kind of trade is that? It wasn't no what the hell kind of trade was that. When they traded Buckner, it's like, okay, damn, you got the 13th overall pick. That's pretty good compensation. Buck said he would be willing to take an arm deal. Yeah, I know, I heard that. They didn't even try to meet him halfway. I think what they tried to do was, I think they tried to, like, this is what I think happened. They tried to bluff and it backfired. I think they would have been willing to meet him halfway, but they were like, we're not gonna do that. Like, whatever. They probably wanted to pay him a certain amount, and they're like, hey, we want to pay you this. And if you are willing to take this, then all right, we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not willing to do that, then you gotta find a trade. And boom, they found a trade. And I think they just called the 49ers bluff. And at that point, it's like, damn, 13th overall pick. Trying to figure out how to maneuver these things, we might have to just take that. But I think having a guy like DeForest Buckner is a little invaluable. Like having a guy that is not only the best player on your defense, maybe Bosa, but not only the best player on your defense, but he's your leader. He's an amazing person on the field, off the field. I think those things are hard to replace. So I would have made it work with Buckner regardless. But one thing about people that don't understand, when you're there though, and even with my time in the NFL, the business aspect of it is real. The business aspect of it is real. It's real, man. All right, real quick. Add this back to the stream real quick. Y'all know what it is, man. Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't already, download the app. This is the slip for today, y'all. Trey Lance over on his yards. Kyle Juszczyk over. Debo over. Nico Collins over. Ayuk over. All that. I put down $10 to collect $200. Let's go. Let's go. That's Underdog Fantasy. Y'all make sure y'all download the app. Go to the website. Sign up. Promo code Crocky. Let's go. But I got to get ready for this draft show, man. I appreciate everybody that's in here right now. Appreciate everybody that rock with me on this Sunday. Again, Trey Lance, he's making his first start. What are we expecting? I just want to see, where is he? Where is he? Get the win. But where is he? That's what I want to see. Again, I've heard some, how difficult that playbook is. I think it's even more difficult than a lot of people think. So that's going to be the biggest thing. Like, does he have more of a grasp of the playbook, of the offense? And once he is able to grasp that, then he'll be able to get to the defense. I don't even think he's gotten to the defense yet. He's so focused on learning the offense. So there's still going to be an element of him winging it. I just want to see how well does he wing it. All right, that's going to do it for today's episode, man. I appreciate everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to all my homies in here. Promo code Crocky and Underdog Fantasy. Let's go, man. Let's go. Niner gang. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Intercepted. It is picked off by Aaron Crocker. Over midfield. He'll run it all the way into the end zone. Touchdown. Croc Talk TV podcast. Peace.